Hey, hello everybody. Welcome
Awesome.
to the Bloom Fellowships info session for fall 2020. We're glad to have you all here. Today we're just going to talk about what Bloom is, some of the specifics of the program, and then we'll also end it with a Q&A session where you can ask whatever you're wondering.
Sweet. Let's go in and introduce ourselves. My name is Brian. I'm one of the co-exec directors for CL. We're pretty much in charge of the design portion of Bloom.
Yeah, hi, I'm Brian's partner, Sam. I'm the second co-director.
I'm Jamie. I'm one of the co-directors of Bloom from the hack side.
Yeah, and my name is Miles. I am the other co-director on the hack side. So next slide. Yeah, so here, if you want to follow along on your own computer, here's the link to the slides. Just go ahead and take it down. I'll also post it in the chat really quickly. And then also, in case you need to leave early or something like that, we're also going to be posting the recording later on YouTube, both on the ACM channel and on the Creative Labs channel. So let me get
Sweet. Let's talk about what is Bloom. So I'm assuming hopefully most of you have already applied to this program of ours, but just a little bit of an introduction of what Bloom is. Bloom is this joint effort between Creative Labs and ACM Hack to teach the community at UCLA, and I guess alumni as well, who are also part of our community at UCLA, the basics of web design and development. So kind of the whole ethos of this program is just to get people started on and point to the right direction on where to get started with design or development, and hopefully allow you to take the next step forward in your career or whatever you want to do with these two fields. And essentially our mission is kind of just to provide these set of tools, the knowledge that you need in order to learn about dev and design. And then for you to be able to work with other people and build some really cool things. And hopefully by the end, you'll be confident to build things on your own with other people as well. So yeah. So essentially what we want to do is, as I said before, give everyone like these set of tools. But I think one of the really great things about dev and design is there's a really fast turnaround time between having an idea and actually being able to see it. And kind of what we want to accomplish with this program is to kind of empower you to be able to do that, is to, like, if you have an idea of what your design or what your program wants to do, you can actually build it. So we really encourage our future fellows as part of this program to pursue a project that they'd be really proud of at the very end of the quarter, and build it with someone. And that's, I think, the real joy of doing design work and doing dev work from my experience. So I will hand this off to Miles to talk about what how we can do this.
Yeah, so the idea for this program or this fellowship is to take designers and developers and bring them together to work on a project together. But obviously that won't be what everybody wants to do. So we have a couple of options for you once you are accepted to pick from, whether you would want to work alone as sort of solo quests, or if you already have somebody in mind, then you can let us know who that is, and we will note that down. The one that's asterisk here is the one that we kind of recommend, so that you can meet new people and kind of get to know somebody new, especially if you're a freshman. This is really nice because you don't know anybody. Basically, we're going to go through some kind of partnership formation process and you will get assigned a partner to work on a project throughout the quarter. And I'll hand it off to Jamie for more on the logistics of this. On the next slide.
Can we get the next slide? Okay, so for logistics, you guys should hopefully already know that applications for the fellowship are going to be closing this Friday. So sometime after that, we'll be sending out the fellowship acceptances, and in the confirmation email, there should be a form that will be asking you which route you want to take. And as you can see, if you choose to enter the unknown, we'll basically send out a form where you can list your preferences and some information about you. And then you guys will be able to get a chance to call each other and then send in your preferences again to finally be matched with your partner for the project.
Okay, so I'll be going over what the design workshops entail. So all of our workshops are at designated times. So for design, it's every Monday at 5 p.m. And we'll first teach you the basics of design, and then they'll get a little more advanced. So we start off with storytelling, which is helping you build the idea of what you want to create. And then we go into typography, design elements, grid layout, basics of UI, and accessibility.
Yeah, and on the dev side, we're going to be having our workshops every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, starting next week. And we're just basically going over all the basic fundamentals you need to know to build and style your own web page. So that gives you all the tools you need to coordinate with a design member and bring that kind of to life.
Yeah, so you can see our curriculum outline is basically just going to include HTML, CSS, some JavaScript, learning how to make API calls, and then we'll also be talking about accessibility and responsive design.
Yeah, so that does it for like what we had to present to you. There's not a lot of information, but if you guys have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat right now or unmute yourself and ask them. Let's see. Oh, okay. So there's already a question from before. Can we do both routes? By both routes, I'm assuming you mean both design and dev tracks. So you are totally free to do both routes if that's what you want to do. Just know that I know Galen already said yes, but like just know that it would be more of a time commitment probably because you have to attend both workshops per week. And then also you might be doing more work during the actual project building.
You wanna let's get one of our officers to moderate this. Justine, sorry to call you out, or if someone else, one of the officers wants to volunteer to help moderate these questions, that'd be awesome.
I can help out too.
Okay, Eugene, would you want to do it?
Yeah, I can.
Really quickly before we go into the questions, we have an ACM membership code. So if you're part of ACM and you want to get points for this, this is the membership portal URL, and this is the code. So yeah, just a quick announcement. But yeah, let's move on with questions now.
There are a lot of questions. Let's answer them.
Cool. Sorry, what was the last question you answered?
I think the next question was, what is the weekly time commitment?
Cool. So the question is, what is the weekly time commitment?
So for the workshops, again, each one of them is scheduled to be 2 hours long. We may or may not go the full time depending on the content we're covering. So as long on the workshop side, that would be 2 hours if you're doing one track, 4 hours a week if you're doing both tracks. And then for the project itself, as this is something that should be like kind of spread out along the quarter as you learn more and more. This is more up to you and your partner figuring out how ambitious you want to be with your project. And that will correlate to how much work you have to do.
Yeah, and something to note is we'll be doing these workshops for up until week 7, so, or I guess week 8 technically. But yeah, we'll be having these workshops until then. In the last 3 weeks that we have, hopefully we're going to be having some like not like core curriculum in terms of like learning design or dev, but some like offshoot workshops where you can learn a little bit more advanced things. And in those like last 3 weeks, you'd probably be spending the brunt of your time like building out the project after you learned everything through the program. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so the next question is, what type of software will we be using?
So for the dev side, we're mainly going to focus on the fundamentals, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, just to make it kind of very beginner friendly. So that's basically that will be the bulk of the core curriculum. If you go on to do the advanced workshops, like we said, we might go into things like React and stuff like that.
Okay. Next question is, are you accepting a lot of people or few people?
Accepting everyone.
We're accepting as
a
many
lot.
people as we can. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Next question. Does this require a lot of experience?
No. So the way the workshops are structured, or the content in the workshops, is designed to be very, very beginner friendly. I know, at least on the dev side, we're going to try to design them so that even if you haven't coded at all before, you will still be able to follow along.
Sam, do you want to speak to the design side of Bloom in terms of experience?
Yeah, so we're going to be teaching design through Figma, and through each workshop, we'll actually teach you how to use the software, so you don't have, you don't need any experience at all.
Okay. Next is, are the times on the slides the confirmed times? Bryson says he thinks he heard different times before.
Yeah, the times on the slide should be the confirmed times. I don't know if there ever was a time where we had different times, but design will be 5 p.m. Pacific time Mondays, and dev will be 6 p.m. Pacific time Wednesdays, all starting next week.
Cool. Okay. So next question is, can we do one track this quarter and the other another quarter?
So as it stands right now, the Bloom Fellowship is kind of a one-off collaboration between ACM Hack and Creative Labs. So this fellowship will probably only be available fall quarter. If you are interested in doing both, but don't have the time to do both, I would suggest doing the one that you are more interested in this quarter. And then I know Hack, at least, Hack and CL both have like things every quarter that they do that involve like learning about either dev or design.
Yeah, and to probably answer some question later on down the line, we'll be posting. Yeah, we're gonna be posting all of our workshops to YouTube. So you can always come back and then watch them again, or you can watch one track this quarter and like do it the next quarter, or like whatever time like works for you. So that probably answered the question later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian,
to go
actually,
along. Oh, sorry. To go along with that, if you are deciding between the tracks, since it is recorded, maybe you can learn the content of the one that you don't want to work on specifically this quarter. So if you want to work on a specific part this quarter on the project, then you would sign up for that track, and then you could learn the content on your own later via the recordings.
okay. Yeah, Brian, I was just about to say you literally answered the next question, which is, will the workshops be accessible after the meeting? Cool. I think the next few we've already answered. So is this available every quarter or only during fall? Will this be offered every quarter? What software will we use? Is there a selection process? Recorded?
Wow.
Okay. What are examples of projects that we'll be working on during this fellowship?
Ryan, do you want to show them our half finished?
Not really, it's not done yet. We're working on an example right now. Hopefully we'll have it done in the next couple weeks. But basically what you can expect is kind of like with a theme that we would want to go with this fellowship, is kind of like having your project tell a story, and we want that story to be personal-ish to like what you want. I think the more invested you are in with your own project, especially as a team, the more time you'll be willing to put into it. So yeah, you can expect it to be something that you are really passionate about and something that you'd want to tell a story on. And yeah, we'll post something in the probably like next week or two. That's like an example of like what you can expect to build.
Yeah, Like the general vague idea, since we don't have an example right now, is like kind of simple but beautiful interactive websites. So like nothing too crazy, like a fully fledged application or anything like that. But just like something that looks good and also functionally works correctly. So that's where the design comes in with the dev.
Should
Okay.
I give like a sneak peek? I have
I
the
mean, if you
Figma
want, go
open.
for it.
Okay.
No,
Can I
you want
share
to share?
screen? Yeah.
It's not mine.
Okay, guys, see?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so here's like a little example of what Brian and I are doing. I'm in charge of the design side, and Brian is handling all the dev. But as I design, I'm constantly asking Brian if, you know, certain designs are achievable for web and mobile. Yeah, so hopefully at the end of it, you'll have a cool website like this.
Yeah, it's actually a really fun process. We had to like put it on standby to do other things, primarily run this. But yeah, it's actually a really fun process to like continuously work on like giving feedback both on a dev, like a designer giving a dev feedback and vice versa. So yeah, highly recommend actually doing a project through this program.
Mhm.
Okay. So the next question was partially answered, but I can change it a little bit. So is there a buy wall for the design track, like Adobe software, or et cetera?
No, so then this program that you're seeing right now is completely free for students. So all you have to do is register your student email and you get all the functions for free.
Yeah, Figma is awesome.
Yeah.
I love Figma.
Okay. Next question is, are you ever allowed to join the same program twice, and do you need any experience in either tracks? Oh, the second one was already answered. So I guess it's the first part. Are you ever allowed to join the same program twice?
I don't really know what that means.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of like if this is like a reoccurring fellowship, but as of now, the plan is just to have it for this quarter. So there won't be a repeat necessarily of the program.
Also YouTube, you know, if you want to just learn the material, we'll be posting all that stuff. But if you want the interactive portions of it, yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll audit it at the very end.
Okay. Next question, how many people total usually get into the program? That's just how many applicants there are basically. What does it look like if you want both dev and design? If you want to do both dev and design?
So I kind of talked about this earlier, I guess, but if you are doing both tracks, you can still opt to have a partner if you would like. That will be in the confirmation form if you get when you get accepted. So the only difference between if you're doing both is just you will have to go to multiple workshops a week, and you might be doing more work just because you want to do more work on the project itself. We'll probably try, if there are many people who want to do both, we'll probably try to pair those people up because then you can both split work on both sides of the project.
Okay. If we, next question, if we ask to join both tracks and get accepted, can we choose to drop one of the tracks and focus on one only?
Wait, sorry, what was the question?
If we
Oh, I
ask
got
to,
it.
okay.
So basically, like the main thing that might be a problem if you drop it would just be if your partner wasn't like doing the corresponding other track. So that's really something that you'd want to work out with your partner once you decide like who that is. And hopefully between the two of you, you should be able to work something out. But in terms of like us, it's not like we're going to take attendance to make sure you go to both tracks if you signed up for both. So it's mostly about like what you want to do for the project and what your partner wants to do.
Yeah, I think this program is really conducive towards like the more you put into it, the more you learn. So I think, yeah, like we're primarily here just to like give everyone that like push just to start, and hopefully as many of you guys can take advantage of that.
Okay, so I think the next few have already been answered, but I can say both the question and answer just in case some people missed it. So for people who are trying to get points for ACM, the way you can log those in is by going into the membership portal and clicking the check-in button and then typing the attendance code that Jamie put in the chat. Yeah. So next question, if you sign up for one role, can you still attend the others workshops? And Jamie answered, absolutely. Both workshop tabs are being made public for everyone to join. Okay, so at Creative Labs people, can I apply to both Bloom and a fall project?
Does anyone answer?
Yeah, I don't see why not, but generally fall projects take a lot of time because you're also meeting your new team members virtually, and sometimes for CL projects, the idea isn't solidified, so you have to, you know, have these long calls with your project lead and team to discuss what the final project will look like. So you can, but it's not recommended.
Okay, next question is, if workshops are open to everyone, then what is the advantage of being part of the fellowship?
So the whole point of the fellowship is kind of an add-on to the curriculum. With the curriculum, you would just be learning the tools, and you could, I mean, if you wanted, you could choose to do your own project. But the idea with the fellowship is that you get kind of a community to support you through this process, because I know that from personal experience that motivating yourself is kind of hard. Especially in the quarter, not even like talking about outside of the quarter. And the other thing is being able to meet new people is definitely one of the things, because we're going to be partnering you, if you choose to, we're going to be partnering you with somebody new. And one thing we're thinking about doing as well is giving you like a small group that you can be in contact with throughout the quarter. So it's not just you and your partner like alone the whole time. And then also, if you're a fellow, we'll be adding you to a Bloom Discord where you can get help from people like us, the officers.
Okay, so the next few messages are just a bunch of compliments about the Figma. So there you go. Okay, next question. What makes people more likely to be accepted for the fellowship? Yep, everyone's getting accepted so far. Do we get to choose the project we do? Yes, right. And then you just provide the overarching theme for them. Okay. Next question. Will we have help with our projects if we're stuck? I think that was also just answered. You get mentorship through officers in the Bloom Discord community. If we join as design, can we switch to dev later, and vice versa?
So if you choose to join as design and thinking that you want to go to dev afterwards, then you just need to make that kind of clear when you're talking to your partner about it. If you choose to have a partner, obviously. The other thing, maybe in the confirmation form, you can let us know that that is your intention. Maybe we will partner you up with somebody who is comfortable doing both dev and design sides. But yeah, so that will be kind of like, you need to make sure that's clear to your partner when you start, so that nothing gets like screwed up later.
Cool. Okay, next question is, do we need to register with our UCLA email? And if they didn't, do they have to reapply with that UCLA email?
No, I actually signed up with my personal email. You just have to register as a student if you did that. I think using your student email just makes the process easier.
This is for Figma, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I think they meant for like Bloom.
Oh,
No, it says,
For Bloom,
it
it
says
just doesn't really matter.
Oh. It
yeah,
said.
for Bloom doesn't matter. This is when Sam said student email, she meant for Figma.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay. Okay, can we choose our partners? Yes. You guys.
Yes. Yeah.
can
If
go
you have someone in mind, in the confirmation form, you can let us know who that is.
Okay. So is the Bloom Fellowship for ACM Hack School? Yeah, so Jamie answered that. ACM Hack School is a regularly scheduled workshop series that we do every fall as part of ACM Hack. This is the first time we're doing it under the umbrella Bloom Fellowship. So yeah, that's something new we're trying. Yep, so that beeping sound is my fire alarm. It's currently out of battery and we submitted a work order, but we're trying to get it fixed. So sorry if that's been distracting for you guys.
Oh no.
So next question, how many people will they be paired up with?
Yeah, so the intention right now is to pair you up with one other person, just to make, communicating and scheduling a little bit easier on you. But like I mentioned earlier, we are thinking about putting you guys in groups of more than just 2 people, just as places that you can talk about your ideas and bounce off each other, maybe give each other advice. But you will have one designated partner.
Okay, next question is, do we have to submit 2 separate apps if you want to do both tracks? I believe there's a both option so that you can apply just once.
Yeah, the application has a both option if you would like to do both.
Okay. Yeah. Next question, what can we expect? When can we expect to get the confirmation/acceptance letter or email?
So we'll probably be sending those out this weekend after we've processed all the applications, since the deadline is this Friday. And you can expect in the confirmation form either this weekend or like the start of week 2, basically.
Okay. I think you guys touched on this already, but how are partners chosen for Bloom?
Right. So
Should I share
there
the
are
slide
3.
again?
Yeah. Wait, what?
You want me to share the slide again so people?
Oh yeah, you can show the slide again. But there are 3 like different ways you can choose to, which we'll ask about in the confirmation form. Whether you want to go solo and just work on your own, just know that that might be a bigger time commitment than if you had a partner. The other way is you already have somebody in mind. You can let us know in the confirmation form, and we'll make sure you guys get partnered together. And then the other way is through our like partner matching kind of process, where we're going to assign you a partner, and based on your preferences, they might, based on if you want them to be like same age-ish or same major or whatever it is, we'll try our best to match you accordingly.
Cool. So next question, should we make an ACM account if we don't have one already?
I think that's for the membership portal, I guess.
Yeah,
If you do want points, then you should make an account. I think you get cool prizes. I won a Facebook backpack that's solar powered, so it can charge my phone. And my friend won a Google Nest. So there's cool prizes if you get a lot of points, but you have to really work for it. I think we both went to 4 workshops a week.
Yeah. So just to clarify, this is this is a program that ACM as a whole is doing. It doesn't really have a direct connection to what Bloom is doing. So it's not required at all for Bloom. But if you want to win cool swag, then it's always cool to log in your points and attend ACM events. Okay. Does our partner have to be on the opposite track or can we both be on design?
I think we were originally intending on pairing a dev with a design person, but if that's something that people want, then I guess we can make it more flexible and have you state what kind of partner you'd prefer to be paired with. So yeah, we'll take that into account.
Yeah, that's definitely like an edge case we have not considered. But if your bring your own partner happens to be the same track as you, then I suppose you might end up with like half the intended product, like just the design side or just the dev side. The idea is to bring both together so you can get like the intersection of both and end up with a fully fledged final product. But if you're okay with like just doing design stuff and that is what you want to do, then that's really fine as well.
Okay. So next question. If you apply to both tracks, how would your partner be assigned?
I think I mentioned this earlier as well, but to reiterate, if you're doing both tracks and you still want a partner, we'll likely try to match you with someone who is also comfortable with doing both tracks, just so you can share the load a little bit better. But if you're trying to do both tracks and we can't find someone else who's also comfortable with doing both tracks, that just means you might be doing a little bit more work, and you should be aware of that if you're applying to both tracks. As like in general, you will be going to both workshops, and then you might be doing on the projects side, you might be doing a little bit of both sides.
Okay. Next question. Was there supposed to be a confirmation email after filling the application that the application was received?
No, we'll be sending out all of those this weekend after the deadline.
Okay. Next question. If we originally registered for both tracks, is it possible to drop one?
Yeah, so in the confirmation email, in the application form, we were like, which ones are you interested in? In the confirmation email, we will ask you which one you want to commit to for the program.
Okay. Is it possible to work on a project with more than one person?
I think we originally thought of this in pairs, but you know, at the end of the day, this is your project. So if you want to add someone who isn't part of the program, it's not like we're going to stop you from doing that. But yeah, it's totally up to you how you want to take your project on a spin. We're pretty much here to provide support and knowledge and like the domain knowledge to help you with that. But yeah.
Yeah, the only reason we decided on pairs is just because of the online experience. It will be probably easier to schedule things and coordinate if you're just working with one other. If you have a bigger project and you want to bring more people on, just let us know in the confirmation form again, so we are aware of that.
Okay. Another question to Creative Lab peeps. If we apply to both a CL project and Bloom and get accepted to both, are we able to drop one?
Yeah, so dropping a CL project has reparations sometimes because you kind of put a halt to the project if you drop too late, and it's pretty hard trying to find a replacement person usually because project leads are usually set on the person that they choose. And if you drop Bloom, you know, the workshops are always on our YouTube, so if you want to go back on your own time, it's fine.
Yeah, you might just be leaving your partner out to dry. But if there's a possibility you might drop, again, you should be making that clear to your partner. And if you're both okay with that, then it's fine, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. So if we are in part of the fellowship, but we still want to learn from the public workshops, where will they be posted and when?
The Hack School ones will be posted on the ACM YouTube channel. CL.
CL will also be posted on our YouTube channel. Comment, like, and subscribe. So awesome. I think it's all done. Sweet.
Yeah, I actually had the YouTube channel links handy. So
Oh, do you really?
yeah, so I just put
Are you
those in the chat.
subscribed?
They're also on
Of
the
course.
slides. So
Eugene Lowe?
yeah.
I'm gonna drop Eugene's
No,
YouTube channel.
don't.
I agree.
This is for Bloom. Yeah,
We
my
honestly
YouTube channel is just fire alarms beeping in different locations.
should. Maybe we should actually post his YouTube channel.
All right, I think that's all we have.
I think so.
Yeah.
I guess we can stick around for a little bit longer.
We'll stick around.
If anyone has questions.
Yeah, I think the flow of questions is a little slower now, so if you guys just want to directly answer, that's cool too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eugene.
Yeah, thank
Thanks
you
for
all
coming,
out.
everyone.
Really glad to have your time.
Woo. Is there like a running hack school example that you guys do through the entirety?
No, we kind of change it every year.
Oh, okay.
And usually it's not vanilla anyway.
We should probably end the recording also.
Yeah.
And crop it.